Hello everyone, and welcome on back to the channel. Today we are doing something a little bit different. We are doing a little bit of a creative build, time-lapse and tour of this little beach, seaside, cliff, fantasy, shanty town situation I have here behind me that I am really happy with. It is a build from a little while ago that I did for a build challenge over in Mythical Sausage's Discord, who is a Minecraft content creator here on YouTube. You should check out his stuff if you haven't already. And this was a build I ended up being really happy with. The theme was beach, but there weren't a lot of restrictions, and I really wanted to push myself, try some new things, so it was my first time building things like little gradiented seaside cliffs, more of this little fantasy style of seaside shantytown. I don't really know what it is, but I am pretty happy with it. And that's kind of all we're doing here in today's video. So without further ado, let's jump straight in to the time lapse. And here we have it, the finished build, which of course you did see at the beginning of the video, but I am really so happy with how this one turned out. The time-lapse wasn't perfect, but it was a lot of fun to create, and it just made me all the more excited to keep learning about making content like this and make the next one even better. Now, I guess we head straight into the tour. Every single build you see here actually does have its own personalized interior that we did on stream a few days ago, and I am really happy with it. So let's have a little bit of a walk around. Now, this little build right here is supposed to be kind of a tiny little fishing hut here by the sea. It's a little bit of a fish shop. You can buy or sell fish here. Of course, fishing rods, bait, all of that fun stuff. And there's just a little spot for the store owner to sleep there. We have this tiny little beach campfire, a nice spot underneath this umbrella to relax and look out over the sea. And this shop here I picture as a bit more of a fantasy building. Of course, with the blue roof, it just gives me that impression. So coming in here, this is more of an exotic goods emporium. We've got netherwort, some more tropical goods like pufferfish, a little bit of, what is this called, drip leaf? Yeah, a little small drip leaf here in this pond, and just a few other fun bits and pieces hanging all the way around. And throughout this build, I really did try and think of ways to make it everything a bit more traversable and accessible. So we do have as well over here a little ladder, so you can climb up this way and go up the cliffside or over this bridge to this tiny little shrine where you can presumably offer to the ocean gods. With the conduits up on top, we have a buddy for this one here right over there at the top of that segment of the cliffs, and of course another ladder that you can climb all the way up to this segment of the cliffs. But I think I want to go left to right, that just makes more sense to me, so we can come over here to our tiny little sea fort. I really like both this build and that build. They might be two of my favorites, though I am also partial to this one here. I think the little wonky roof is so cute, but I really do like the gradient that we did here with the kind of granite brick and terracotta through to the cobble and andesite, then into the diorite. I think it's a lot of fun, and the little pop of calcite in there, it was super fun to come up with this design. And of course the barrels and dark oak here in the trim, I think that's so fun. And of course, coming on inside, this is done up just to be a little sea fort. We have armor for the people defending our little coastal town. This is kind of supposed to be like a battlement planning war area. We have a tiny little map of the build itself, which I'm really happy that it all fit on the one map. That actually really surprised me. Very exciting stuff, I know. And coming up and around, we can climb up this ladder into the upper sections where we just have a little bunk for some of the guards to sleep, a bit more archery here, so of course they can grab their bow and arrow, come out over here and defend the town from incoming pirates or whatever may be going on here in our tiny seaside town. And coming over here and down here, this build, of course these builds would be a little bit hard to access up on the cliffs I built them on. So you can just climb up this little ladder here, and it's a little bit precarious, but of course you can work your way around and up to the front of this super cute little fantasy house. And this one is again a bit more of an exotic goods emporium style build. We've got chorus fruit, potatoes, a bunch of plants and life growing around in the bottom area of this shop, a little bit more potion selling kind of stuff. And heading on upstairs, of course, we've just got a little spot for the shop owners to sleep, the smallest piece of carpet, a nice little rug, super cute. And coming out here, just a nice spot here on the balcony, a tiny table with some candles, and a wonderful view out over the ocean. Coming over here, let's go to this tiny little blue build next. We've got a tiny bee farm out front, and this one really isn't anything too crazy. It's just another build in a similar style, a bit of a residential build. We've got a little double chest under this raised up bed, a little kitchenette area, some storage, nothing too fancy going on in that one. I want to save this one for last because I think its interior might make me the most excited, so let's head up this way next. We have a little ladder coming up the side of this build and kind of this back or side entrance into this main area. And I kind of pictured this almost like a little customs, like imports and exports office, because this door right here leads out to this back bridge over the gorge and out into the presumed world that exists out there somewhere. So we have this really fun, big, fancy looking door that would kind of, you'd come in, bring some goods over this bridge and have them all processed and marked down on lists here through this way. And I also just really like this little gorge. I had fun doing these kind of rickety bridges out over it. I didn't add too much detail down in the bottom of the gorge itself. I just kind of did this sand coming in as if it was getting washed into this segment by the ocean. Just a little bit of fun, but nothing too crazy. Anyway, back into the interior. I'm so distractible. We can head on upstairs here. Coming up here, there's nothing too fancy going on. We just have a bit of a triple bunk bed for some more guards that could then come out onto these ramparts. I think that's the word, but I'm not too sure. And of course, do some more defending of our little seaside town. And can we go further up? Is there anything further up? I'm not actually sure. Let's go have a look. There is a little bit of decor up here. We of course have a little bell, sound the alarm if there's any pirates attacking off the coast, anything crazy like that. A little bit of crossbow action so we can arm up our guards and defend the area. And that is kind of that tower build, which I do really like. I am very happy with this one as well. Coming around back here, we do have another bridge out over the canyon and into the world, and this is our tiny little house, which I did up as a bit more of an industrial style interior. It's got our blast furnaces, smokers with this super cute little kind of chimney action that doesn't actually exit the building. It's not necessarily functional, but it is cute and it does make me happy, and that's what counts. And over here we have, of course, our little kind of waterfall that is generated or controlled by the people here. We have our little control table situation, little compass on the wall, some comparators to make it look all redstone-y and fancy. We have the pointless piston of pull the lever and it goes up and down. I know, very exciting. And that's kind of it. We've also got this little corner with some coal that would be getting shoveled from here and into our furnace array right here. And that is kind of it. Of course, we scattered signs all over the walls as well because I just really like busy interiors. They just make me really happy. But that is kind of it. I think that is more or less the tour. Let's have a little bit more of a fly around, make sure I didn't miss anything. If we come around back through the gorge, we have a few ladders that climb up the cliffs. I really like it down here, especially with the shaders, just like the verticality of it, the walls rising up around you, the gradient, the details, the little bridges, the hanging lights, the waterfalls. These are all things that make me very happy. And coming up over here, the only other thing we didn't really check out is this, which there's nothing in here, but I kind of pictured it like you would go across this bridge out the back of the town into this like mysterious kind of spooky like coastal cave system dungeon thing, you know, beat the dungeon boss, all of that exciting stuff as well. Of course it is just black walls, there's nothing there, but it's in the imagination and it's very cool in the imagination. And I think that kind of does us for our tour of our super cute little fantasy style coastal town that I again am just really happy with. So thanks again for watching and for coming along for this little creative video. This is my first video I've really done in a style like this, so let me know what you thought down in the comments below. I did have a lot of fun just experimenting with some new builds, styles, trying some new things out. Very fun, and of course I had a lot of fun pulling the time lapse together as well. Thanks again so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know what your favorite build is here in our little coastal town. What's your favorite bit? I do quite like the sea fort, but also the little fantasy emporium, also the tower, so many options. But that about does us for this video, so thanks again for coming along for the ride, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!